जाना। तो नेक्स्ट चैप्टर है हमारा इवोल्यूशन। इवोल्यूशन में हम देखेंगे कि कैसे लाइफ ओरिजिनेट हुई है। फिर देर आर सम एविडेंसेस ऑफ इवोल्यूशन, कि किस तरह से हम बता सकते हैं कि इवोल्यूशन हुआ है, एंड व्हाट आर द causes which helps in evolution to occur, and how this process happens in all the living organisms. Okay, and फिर लास्ट में है कि ह्यूमन इवोल्यूशन कैसे हुआ है, उसके बारे में डिस्कशन होगा। ठीक है, तो पहले बेसिक चीजें हम डिस्कस करते हैं कि क्या होता है इवोल्यूशन, क्या होता है। सो इवोल्यूशन इज अ ब्रांच ऑफ लाइफ साइंस। ठीक है, ये लाइफ साइंस या बायोलॉजी की एक ब्रांच है विच स्टडी द ओरिजिन ऑफ लाइफ। फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, ओरिजिन ऑफ लाइफ। पहला क्वेश्चन तो यही कि भाई लाइफ इस प्लेनेट पे आई कैसे, है ना। जैसे शुरुआत में लोगों ने सोचा ऐसा कि क्या कारण हो सकता है, कैसे लाइफ ओरिजिनेट हुई। देयर आर डिफरेंट थ्योरीज, ठीक है, उसके बारे में भी हम डिस्कस करेंगे। एंड इसके अलावा, लाइफ के अलावा इसमें ये भी डिस्कशन होता है, अगर हम बायोलॉजी को हटा दें यहाँ से, तो ये भी डिस्कशन होता है कि फर्स्ट प्लेस हाउ एवरीथिंग, वेदर इट इज लिविंग और नॉन लिविंग, हैव ओरिजिनेटेड। मतलब कैसे अर्थ बनी, या कैसे सोलर सिस्टम के सारे अदर प्लेनेट बने, या गैलेक्सी में जितनी भी हेवनली बॉडीज हैं वो सब कैसे बने, या व्हाट इज यूनिवर्स, हाउ इट वर्क्स, how all these things which are present in the universe, they they were formed, and how do they react। okay, सो ये सारी चीजें आती है इवोल्यूशन में, बट हम बायोलॉजी के अंदर डिस्कस कर रहे हैं, लाइफ साइंस में डिस्कस कर रहे हैं, तो हम लाइफ के बारे में बात करेंगे, नॉट ओनली ऑन दिस मिनट बट एनीवेयर। ओके, सो एंड हाउ इवोल्यूशन ऑफ डिफरेंट फॉर्म्स ऑफ लाइफ, और यू कैन से बायोडाइवर्सिटी। ठीक है, पहली चीज तो ये कि लाइफ आई, ठीक है, फिर लाइफ आने के साथ में देयर इज बायोडाइवर्सिटी, देयर आर डिफरेंट millions of different species are there on our planet. So how all these uh, species have evolved। ठीक है, सो दोनों चीजें इसके अंदर ही आएंगी। इट्स कॉल्ड एज बायो इवोल्यूशन। बायो इसीलिए जोड़ा गया बिकॉज देयर इज इवोल्यूशन ऑफ नॉन लिविंग ऑब्जेक्ट्स ऑल्सो। सो इट इज बायो इवोल्यूशन और सिंपली इवोल्यूशनरी बायोलॉजी। ठीक है, इट वाज गिवन बाय मेयर। So the second thing is that evolution is a very very slow process, but it is continuously occurring। अभी भी evolution हो रहा है, ठीक है, किसी भी तरीके से हो रहा हो, but हो रहा है evolution। There are certain species which are certain organisms which are continuously evolving, like viruses, if we consider them living, or there are disease causing bacteria, they are continuously evolving for new antibiotics. We have to um, design and discover new antibiotics because bacteria are becoming resistant to the already present antibiotics. Okay, so they are continuously evolving, and there are certain organisms which are evolving at a very slow rate, like crocodiles. Okay, they have not changed much in their structure in like suppose almost 20 million years. So they are just like that. Okay, so it is, evolution is basically depending on the interaction with the environment. Okay, we will deal with this thing later. And the second thing is that, okay, so this is just a fact that earth appeared around these many years ago. On earth, first life form appeared these many years ago, and earth is almost 4.5 million years old. And there are some theories on origin of life that we will discuss. So there's a Big Bang theory, and theory of special creation, theory of cosmic panspermia, modern theory of an evolution that we'll discuss. Okay, so first of all, we will talk about Big Bang theory. Okay, so Big Bang theory was proposed by Abe Lemaitre, and it says that the whole universe has originated from a very dense object with an explosion। Okay, जब क्या होता है ना, when we squeeze something into a very tiny space, okay, so that after some time the temperature of that object increases. So this in this dense object, the temperature increased, and because of that, a very uh, large, huge explosion occurred. And because of that, because of the high temperature, an explosion occurred. So this is also called as thermal explosion. Okay, so this explosion occurred, and because of that, all the uh, debris of this object, the dense object, were spread through this space, okay, that we call as space. And all the objects which we see today in this space were present in one tiny, this dense object. Although this theory is explains most of the things, but it doesn't explain many things, that from where this tiny object came, what is this space in which this exploded, and other things. Okay, and what is the boundary of this universe? All these things are not explained by this theory. Okay, then what happens after this explosion is that these gaseous clouds, means because of high temperature, everything was uh, spread. Okay, and then after that, when the temperature goes down, these gaseous clouds came closer, and it formed all the heavenly bodies, all the heavenly objects. In this way, the in around 4.6 billion years ago. Okay, this is ago, not agar. Ago, solar system and Earth were formed. And one more thing I want to mention here, that our universe, the age of our universe is uh, around 18 to 20 billion years old. Okay, so 18 to 20 billion. This is the age of our universe, or the universe in which we are. Okay, based on whatever the information we have, maybe it can change. Okay, with new discoveries. Okay. So this was the Big Bang theory, and the next theory is theory of special creation, where God comes in the picture. That according to different books of religions, according to Bible, God created the life on earth in 6 days. And there are many details that we will not go in detail. According to Hinduism, Lord Brahma created life and so on. There are, means in the whole thing there is a God, there is some supreme entity who has created the earth, and then he's created life, living organism on that planet or on earth, like that. So the thing is that this is just the belief of human beings. Okay, like if we talk about other organisms like a cat or a dog or any other bird, they don't think like that. Okay, or maybe we don't know that how these things work in their world. Okay, so humans are having creativity, imaginary power, and because of their creativity they have created such kind of things. Only thing is that these theories lack any scientific proof, because nobody has seen this supreme entity or like that. Okay, so this is just one theory. Then another theory is that panspermia theory, which was proposed by Arrhenius. Okay, so this theory says that life has existed throughout our universe, and the spores and their spores could have flew through the space from some other source on the earth, and then life originated on earth, like this. Even today many people think that the theory of panspermia is might be right. Okay, that not in the terms of life itself, but in terms of instructions that were given to the uh, humankind on this planet, that how to continue surviving. Okay, like the uh, like aliens. Okay, that there are some people think, or theories think, that there are we have been given instructions from outside of this planet, and we are following them, like that. Okay, so all these theories, these are theories and there are no proofs. So theory can be, or can say anything, but based on some fact. Okay, but if we want that the theory is right, we want evidence, experimental evidence. Okay, so this is the panspermia theory, and next is spontaneous generation. Okay, so that is called as abiogenesis, or this is also called as autogenesis. Okay, ऑटोजेनेसिस का मतलब है कि लाइफ ऑटोमेटिकली आ गई प्लेनेट पर. ठीक है, सो दिस वाज सपोर्टेड बाय मेनी philosophers, Greek philosophers. So they said that life originated from non-living things spontaneously. So, this is the important uh, term here. Spontaneously मतलब non-living thing रखी हुई है, बस उसमें से अपने आप life निकल आएगी. So there were some people who said that when von Helmont was one person who claimed that if a sweat-soaked shirt was kept in a wheat barn, it would give rise to mice. So very simple way of giving rise to mice. Okay, so actually these were based on observation, or I should say partial observation, that people have observed that ऐसा यहाँ रखा हुआ था उसमें से mice निकल आए. They don't know that mice can dig holes and uh, they can give rise to their children in certain places. Okay, without coming in notice of humans. And they thought that the rivers give rise to the fishes or frogs, like that, but they didn't know that there were eggs which are present, and from those eggs the frogs and other organism came. So these were based on partial observation. Half these are uh, observation, but they are not complete. So this theory, the spontaneous generation, was discarded by these many people, and how this was discarded, that we will see. But one more thing I would like to mention here, that later on the theory of abiogenesis was proved to be right, but not this thing. Okay, this is not absolutely not correct, but that how life originated, this thing was later on this was uh, shown that yes, life has originated, of course, from non-living objects or chemicals, that we will see. So we will see that thing also. But first of all, we will see that how this theory was discarded by these people. So the theory of biogenesis, this was the theory of spontaneous generation or abiogenesis, and here it is a theory of biogenesis. Okay, so biogenesis says that new organisms can come from existing ones only. That is correct. ठीक है, ये आप लोगों ने पढ़ा भी है 11th क्लास में. This is the in the cell theory, that new cells come from the existing cells. So the same thing is that new organisms can come from existing ones only. Okay, so to prove this thing, Francisco Reddy did one experiment. What he did is he took the meat and he placed it in a jar which was uncovered, and then placed in a jar which was covered by parchment membrane, and there was another jar in which he closed it, okay, airtight. So what he observed, that here in this one there were the formation of maggots. Okay, maggots are the larvae of flies. Okay, so these were formed in this, but in this case they were not formed because flies were not able to go inside and lay their eggs on this meat, but in the open one they were able to do so. So uh, we found maggots in here. In the same way, Lazzaro Spallanzani did one experiment. He took soup of vegetables and meat, and he uh, boiled it first of all, okay, to kill whatever there inside it. So he first of all he made it sterile, and then what he did is he closed one of the flasks airtight, and kept one open. So one which he kept open was in which in this the microorganisms appeared, and in this one no microorganisms or any activity was observed of living organisms. Okay, so this also says that if there is something inside it, it will give rise to the living organisms. Here also, if the flies were able to reach the meat, they were able to lay eggs, and because of that, maggots appeared in the one which was uncovered. Okay. So in this line, there was another experiment performed by Louis Pasteur, and this experiment actually led to the theory, germ theory of disease, or simply germ theory. It says that diseases were caused by germs, okay, which we cannot see, but they are present in air. So what he did, this experiment was also called as gooseneck experiment. Okay, gooseneck, because he used a flask which was having a neck of structure of a goose. Okay, S shaped flask was there. So he, what he did is he took a flask like that. Okay, I'm just going to draw it. So, and like that. Okay, okay, so more or less S shaped. Okay, so what he did is he took a same broth in it. Okay, and he boiled it first of all, uh, or made it sterile. Okay, like this. He boiled it. So this is just a burner, and uh, what he did is he observed this sterile broth by keeping it for some time, okay, some days, and then after that he observed that there was no uh, change in the clarity of this broth. Okay, see, क्या होता है ना कि जब जो ब्रॉथ होता है या सूप होता है मीट का या वेजिटेबल्स का, तो it is clear. Earlier it is clear, but as something grows inside it, okay, whether it is bacteria or fungus or yeast, whatever, its clarity decreases. It becomes more and more turbid. Okay, so because of this, they were able to say that there is something growing inside it. Okay, so after that he broke this, he observed, and he found that there was no turbidity or no growth. Okay, no turbidity. And what he did is, after that, he simply broke this neck, and later he found that there was growth of okay, sorry, this was, so there was growth of living organism in terms of turbidity. So this was turbid. Okay, so these are three experiments which suggest that if we want to grow something, it should be there in first place. Okay, so if we see microorganisms or such things, they are already there. If they are not growing, it means they are not there. So the same experiment led to the germ theory of disease by Louis Pasteur. So these three theories actually proved that spontaneous generation is not correct. So this was completely discarded by these theories. But these theories failed to explain that how life originated. Okay, we know that maggots are coming from fly, or turbidity is coming because of some germs growing inside the. Uh, but how these flies came in first place? How these microorganisms which are growing in this soup or meat broth? Okay, how these organisms originated? So this theory of biogenesis, failed to explain the origin of life. Okay, ये आपको याद रखना है. मैं यहाँ लिख देता हूँ. Failed ठीक है, failed to explain the origin of life. ठीक है, ये आप लोग याद रख लेना, क्योंकि कभी कभी ऐसा क्वेश्चन आ जाता है कि ये सब तो हुआ लेकिन ओरिजिन ऑफ लाइफ क्या चीज कोई एक्सप्लेन नहीं कर पाती, थ्योरी ऑफ बायोजेनेसिस। ठीक है, तो ये इसको एक्सप्लेन नहीं कर पाते। ओके, चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं। एंड देयर आर मॉडर्न थ्योरी of origin of life, which was given by Alexander Oparin and John Helden. Okay, it's long name. So JBS Helden or AI Oparin or simply Oparin and Helden theory of origin of life. So what they said is that life has originated from non-living. ओके, यही चीज कही थी किसने, स्पॉन्टेनियस जनरेशन ने, कि नॉन लिविंग थिंग से लाइफ आई है, बट उनका जो एक्सप्लेनेशन था वो करेक्ट नहीं था, वो एक्सप्लेनेशन वाज रॉन्ग ऑल्दो देयर स्टेटमेंट वाज मोर और लेस करेक्ट। ओके, सो नॉन लिविंग ऑर्गेनिक केमिकल्स, ठीक है, so this is called as artificial synthesis or chemical synthesis. Okay, so this theory is also known as theory of artificial synthesis. So at the time of origin of life, what they were uh, explaining in this theory, or there are some uh, assumptions we need to take here, is that at the time of origin, free oxygen was absent, as we know that oxygen was not there uh, from very first. When plants evolved, then the free oxygen became available. Okay, before that free oxygen was not available. So the first life was anaerobic. ठीक है, ये हमने डिस्कस किया था पहले कि जो पहले जो ऑर्गेनिजम्स, जो फर्स्ट ऑर्गेनिजम्स थे, दे वर एनारोबिक एंड दे वर नॉट ऑटोट्रोफिक, दे वर हेट्रोट्रोफिक. Okay, because free oxygen was not available and they were depending on for their source of energy on the other organisms. Okay, they were not doing photosynthesis. Okay, so these are the assumptions that we have to take, that first if we want to create uh, life or the organic chemicals from inorganic uh, molecules, what we need to do is we need a primitive atmosphere, the right chemicals and the source of energy, and of course time, lot of time. Okay, so they just proposed these things. Okay, they didn't do any experiment. Okay, they just said that these things, if we are able to do so, then maybe we will be able to see that the life or life like organic chemicals are arising from the non inorganic components. Okay, so what Oparin has also said, that evolution up to formation of coacervates is called as chemical evolution. The coacervates are first life forms. They are like aggregations of RNA and proteins and like that. Okay, so we will talk about coacervates later. Here, just we are talking about that there this theory divided evolution of organisms into two parts. The first is chemical evolution and the second is biological evolution. So chemical evolution means formation of first life forms, and biological evolution is formation of different species here according to this theory. So up to coacervates, मतलब इसके पहले तक जो भी हो रहा था, that was chemical evolution or formation of new chemicals. Okay, as we know that there are different biomolecules like proteins, RNA, DNA, okay, uh, lipids, carbohydrates. So these are organic components और हम सब उसी से बने हुए हैं ना, इसके अलावा और अलग से ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. Either we are made up of carbohydrate, lipids, proteins, DNA, likewise. Okay, so up to coacervates, that is called as chemical evolution, and after that it was called as biological evolution. And later on, this theory was proved by Urey and Miller. So that is called as Urey-Miller experiment. So what they did in this experiment is took they tried to make the primitive type of environment, okay, and they used right chemicals. So the right chemicals were methane, ammonia, water and hydrogen. These were the right chemicals. इसमें ऑक्सीजन या सल्फर या ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है, ठीक है. So these were the right chemicals they used, uh, and this was the gas mixture inside this round flask, and they also attached electrodes with this, okay, and in these electrodes they gave the voltage of 30,000 volts, okay. So this was very high voltage. So that's 30,000 volt. For almost 2 weeks they performed this experiment, and it is not like that they have given this current, this voltage continuously. They gave it like for 1 hour, then stop, then for again for 1 hour, then stop. So it was 1 hour cycle, okay. So it was 1 hour cycle, लाइक 1 घंटे के लिए दिया, 1 घंटे फिर बंद कर दिया, फिर 1 घंटे के लिए दिया, फिर 1 घंटे बंद कर दिया. So it was 1 hour cycle, okay. And they gave this electrodes were for giving energy, okay. Spark was the energy, okay. And here there was a liquid water, and this was the direction of this circulation. It was going like this. So this is going here, and it was creating the whole vacuum inside, so that these gases remain inside, and then nothing flows inside and nothing goes outside like this. So this liquid water was uh, going here in the form of steam, okay. It goes here, and here these gases are present, and then these react, and here was the cooling system. So this was the cooling system, yeah, or you can say cold water goes in from here and comes out. So it decreases the temperature in this region, and because of that, uh, whatever is forming inside, it gets condensed here and gets collected here, okay. So after 2 weeks, what they observed is the formation of amines, okay, amino acids, uh, and the units of nucleic acids, okay. So nucleotides, nucleoside like structures, they're not exactly but like them, okay. Purines and pyrimidines like structures. So these were formed here in this, and they took the sample for, and then they checked for whether they have become organic or not, like this. So here they have checked it, and after 2 weeks they found that yes, we are able to get the organic components from inorganic. So all these things are inorganic, but here, uh, after 2 weeks of this experiment and so much voltage they have given, they were able to say that yes, it is possible to get the organic components from inorganic components if we provide the right atmosphere, okay. So this theory, this experiment proved that yes, life has originated from uh, inorganic components, then organic components came, and then these organic components came together to form a single unit, that is cell, of course prokaryotic cell, and then from them eukaryotes have also originated like this. So from here we will talk about that there is biological evolution, and I will also discuss about a few things, that how, like, first microorganisms have evolved, and how then later on eukaryotes have evolved. There are different things that we will discuss. One more thing I would like to mention here, that to get the 30,000 volt, they used Tesla coil here. So Nikola Tesla was the person who built this coil, to get large amount of voltage, like without affecting the electrical appliances or the power grid in that area. Okay, if you use 30,000 volt, or if you generate 30,000 volt, likewise it can affect the power grid or the electrical appliances or electrical supply in the nearby area. So they used Tesla coil for generating this much of voltage. Okay, so Urey Miller experiment, up to Urey Miller experiment or Operin Hilden theory, we talk about theories, but from here we will talk about the biological evolution, that how biological evolution occurred, and then we will talk about the biodiversity also and evidences of evolution. Okay, so आज के लिए इतना ही. In our next class we will talk about other things. Okay.